When we went to the party buses, I would buy a fifth of Fireball, a bunch of Taco Bell, and a Dr. Pepper. And then I would eat eat the Taco Bell. Dude, my stomach would be wrecked. Eventually, we found out that antifreeze is in Fireball. Probably gonna grow a third arm at some point in my life, most likely. What is Chiefin, my dudes? I hope you're having a fantastic Friday, and I am excited. In fact, I am honored to present this new format to you guys. We're going to start the podcast off with a joke and then end it with a joke. And
before you say that, I'd like to say that I'm honored but also excited for this.
No, you can't take my shit, man.
Okay.
But before I get into that, though, I'd like to say welcome guest. We have Josh on with us today. We're going to have an awesome podcast.
Hello, all.
Say hi.
Hello.
We will be presenting our 3 best alcohols from these categories: beer, seltzer, and whiskey.
I'm just going to say one thing. Really bummed out that we had to do a best seltzer.
That wasn't actually my idea, believe it or not. It was actually Bryce's idea.
That is
surprising. Well, I got some more surprises for you, so just wait until we get to that part and I get to answer.
Jesus.
He's going to be like, the best seltzer is the kind you pour down the fucking drain. Okay?
The best seltzer is no seltzer.
The best seltzer is the one you don't have to drink.
If you also want to see our freaking mugs, we're on YouTube right now, guys. So we normally post a lot of our clips to social media like Instagram and TikTok, but we are revamping the YouTube channel to not just be the full audio episodes, and we're going to do our faces the entirety of this freaking podcast. So if you want to see us, head over to youtube.com/I don't know. There's a fucking search bar, so click that and then type in Chiefin Podcast.
The whole podcast is on video this time?
That's why you're on video.
That would have been nice to know. 0 heads up.
You're the first guest that will be completely shown on video the entire
Okay. Honestly, I gave you heads up. I told you an hour
when
before
I got
we recorded.
I got here, my face was all scraggly because I haven't shaved in 2 weeks and I look like a 14-year-old.
It looked more 14-year-old if you shaved.
That's not... It looked like a 14-year-old going through puberty.
I remember that when I was 12 years old.
I would like to start this show off with a joke before we dive into it. So here it is. There's a man that goes into a bar and he says, "I would love a beer." The bartender says, "Okay, that'll be $4.50. And he goes, "Well, if I show you something amazing, can I get it for free?" He says, "Yeah, sure, why not?" So he goes into his pocket, pulls out a little 10-inch man and a little piano, puts it on there, and this little 10-inch pianist starts playing a beautiful song. And he's like, "Wow, that is amazing. Yeah, you can have this beer for free." And he goes, how'd you get that? And he goes, "If I tell you how I got it, can I get another beer for free?" And he goes, "Yeah, sure." So he pulls out a wizard from his other pocket, puts him on the table, and he says, "That's how I got it." And the man goes, "Whoa, that's amazing. But if I give you another beer, can I make a wish?" And he says, "Yeah, of course, go ahead." So he says, "Okay, I wish for $100,000. And poof, just like that, 100,000 ducks filled the bar. He says, "What the fuck, dude? I said I wanted $100,000, not 100,000 ducks." And he goes, "Okay, yeah, but do you think I really wanted a 10-inch pianist?"
Okay.
What's a wizard then?
What?
Where's the wizard play into this? There's an open plot hole.
The wizard granted him the wish. What the fuck?
Well, why is the wizard so small?
Because that's just the joke.
Okay.
How else is he going to carry around a wizard in his pocket? It has to be small.
You could have been in a lamp. Could have done the whole genie thing.
Ever fucking heard of
Aladdin?
Aladdin?
He just carries around a lamp everywhere he goes.
Yeah.
It's better than carrying around a wizard in his pocket everywhere he goes.
You only get 3 wishes. He's not going to just give it to someone else.
Jesus. That was
seems
a
like
confusing
a
joke. I liked it.
Great
it was
joke.
A good joke, but confusing.
My mind wanders.
Yeah, when you fucking pull it apart like you did, then yeah, it's not that great of a joke.
There were some plot holes. There were some plot holes. That's all we're saying.
All right, you know what? Take it up with your city if you got plot hole issues, okay? I'm tired of this shit.
All right, guys, because it is March, everything in this month is either luck focused or booze focused. And it's booze focused because the Irish.
Or
and it's luck
10-inch
focused
men with hats and red beards.
because of the Irish.
What?
And
Because
so,
of the wishes from wizards.
Get over the fucking wizard. So we're approaching our 30s, guys, and I remember a decade ago when we started drinking, we didn't really have an acquired taste for this stuff. We just did Captain and Coke because we didn't like the taste of beer, and I didn't want to make fun of for cracking open a Mike's Hard Lemonade. But since then, we've acquired a taste for some of this booze, and I think my taste is the best, and I'm gonna prove it today.
I mean, I
I
think
doubt
so.
it. Yeah, I disagree. We shall
Whose
see.
is urinating now, Daniel?
I am Ninny now, so I will go first.
Let's let Josh pick the category first.
Let's go with Seltzer, since I know that's Daniel's fave.
I love seltzers. Okay, now
We know.
Let's
the 4 categories that you have to have, 4 qualifications for the best alcohol. It has to taste good. Number 2,
But that's subjective.
it has to be cheap. Number
No.
3.
What?
Number
What?
3.
Whoa.
When did we say any of these?
No, for
that's
me.
the
I'm saying
worst
for
thing.
me.
Oh,
For me
okay.
personally.
Okay.
For me
For you.
personally.
Gosh.
The way that
Why
this,
would the
it's,
best? Oh my
it's
god.
your best. It's your preference. So my preference is something that tastes good, something that's cheap, something you can drink a lot of, and something that's going to get the job done. And you know what does that? Natty Light Seltzers. Hits all the boxes, and it has to be Catalina Lime Mixer. That is the best kind you can get. Oh,
Nope.
It's so good. It's like 6% alcohol. It's cheaper than most beers, and it tastes delicious, and you can drink them all day long, and it doesn't matter. So there it is. Catalina Lime Mixer, sponsor us today.
You know what's kind of surprising is that in every professional sport, when they choose the all-star team, they do not take into account how much that player is paid. So your stat on the cheapness is completely irrelevant.
No.
Yeah, why?
It's not. No, it's not, because it's
Yes,
the best.
it is.
It's the best to me.
But
For
if you
all
were to
those
get it for
reasons.
free,
Yeah, that's what it
like
should
what
be.
if someone were to buy it for you? You had any choice.
Then it better taste really fucking good.
And that's why seltzers really don't matter. They all taste
I
the
think
same
they
to
do.
me, honestly.
No. What's it called?
The
Pineapple
Trulies
is
and
not great.
Claws. Trulies and Claws. Like, if you blind taste tested me, there's no way I'm telling you which one was which.
Josh, do you want to go with your choice?
I'll go with my choice because it's the same as Daniel's except different flavor. Yeah, the only seltzer I would buy for myself would be a Natty because of the extra percentage. And yeah, I'm an Aloha Beaches guy myself, but
Ooh, that one got me started on the natty.
that
natty
one's
lights.
that one's good. And then what's the House Rules? That
That's a good
kiwi
one, too.
strawberry. But I think best name goes to Catalina Lime Mixer, but not best
Yeah.
taste.
Well, you get that variety pack, and you can get all 3 of those.
Oh, I've never done that. Just go
Yeah,
with
you
Aloha
have- well-
Beaches.
It's not that you haven't. It's I bought it, and I was in
Oh,
Oregon
yeah.
when I bought
You
it.
were
And you
there.
had it, so yeah.
Yep.
Gentlemen, imagine your fathers looking at you talk right now.
My
The
dad buys me
disappointment.
those sometimes, so I'm
Well,
sure he'd be
then
like, yeah,
I'm
that's
looking
fine.
at your dad, Randall, in disappointment.
I put a lime in my Tecate the other night in front of my dad. He gave me the stink eye, so I couldn't imagine what it would be like if I got a seltzer and cracked it open in front of him.
Your guys' answers are interesting, but the correct answer is none. The best seltzer is none seltzer. So, hear me out.
I freaking knew you were gonna say that. Too.
I knew
The
that was coming.
seltzers are the man romper of the beverage industry. I get it that time moves on, but men have gone from suit wearing, mustache brandishing, beer drinking icons to sweatpant wearing, seltzer sipping ninnies. And I think it's time to put a stop to it. And
Do you
here's
not
the
wear
podcast
sweatpants,
we're going
Bryce?
to do it.
Here, here.
Nope.
You don't wear sweatpants.
Not outside of the bed.
I only drink seltzers in bed, so we're
That's
2022, make seltzers sissy again.
I
No,
agree.
I love seltzers. I don't even
Nope.
care. I'm getting drunker than you would on some other beer.
How?
that's not
what
why
if
I
the
drink
beer is
Cheaper
6% or more?
price.
Like
That's
if
not true.
you- why don't you get bottom shelf vodka then? It's
Or
like the
a
same
Steel
price.
Reserve. Grab you a couple Steel
No, okay,
Reserves.
well,
You're gonna be
You
okay.
gotta,
I
oh,
guarantee
dude,
it.
Steel Reserves. Those will mess you up.
If
man.
those fit, is that your favorite beer, Daniel? It's cheap.
Yeah.
It has high percentage. Like, it's all fitting into your categories.
It's the best. Well, so the cheapness, that's like bottom on the 4 qualifications.
Okay.
It's got to taste good. It's got to have a good percentage, and it has to be able to be drunk a lot of.
Yeah, you can't
But
do that.
if it's also cheap, then yeah, I fucking love it. Like, I love Guinness, but it wouldn't be my top because I can't drink a lot of those.
Not a fan.
All right, so
You
we have
you don't like Guinness?
natty, and
None.
not playing.
You have the correct answer, Bryce. I just was trying to follow the rules and actually pick
There
one.
are no rules when you do this fucking podcast. Okay, if you would have given a beer, it would have been accepted.
Fine.
Bryce gives you like the most vague description of
Yeah.
what it has to be, and you
And
just
figure
fucking
it out.
run with it, man. Like when he
Yeah.
said like a couple episodes ago, the best shorts, I was like, oh boy, here we go. We're gonna
Yeah,
that was a
pretty
tough one.
broad.
Fucking everything is gonna be mixed in there.
All right, so what category do you want to talk about next, Josh? We got seltzers out of the way.
Let's do whiskey.
All right, again, 4 qualifications for my favorite alcohol has to
right.
be taste good.
So,
Cheap
I had to
whiskey is
guess-
the worst.
Can you drink a lot of it? And what
I
was
don't
the
know
last?
what you're gonna pick here.
What was the last one? I don't remember what it was.
I don't
It
know
gets
what your
the job done. It's the same. Like, why don't you do the rule of 3? You did the rule of 4.
The 4th one is the price, but the first 3, that's what matters the most. Cheapness is like whatever, but it's got to taste good. Oh yeah, it has to get the job done, and you have to be able to drink a lot of it. And you know what that is?
Fireball.
Fireball.
Oh my, you're horrible.
You are like disappointing.
So
me
here's
so
the thing, though.
much right now.
I don't drink whiskey like at all now. So I wouldn't even drink. I don't even drink Fireball. Like I don't think I'll ever drink it again, unless someone's like, "Oh, I got you a Fireball shot." I'm usually mad when they bring it, but that's the thing I drank the most.
I haven't
would
drank
have to
Fireball.
You just chose Fireball.
Yeah.
Yeah,
For
I
best
did just
whiskey.
choose Fireball.
For
I would
best
say
whiskey.
best.
is
Best for me
insane right
because I drank so much of it. When we went to the party buses, I would buy a 5th of Fireball, a bunch of Taco Bell, and a Dr Pepper, and then I would eat the
poor stomach.
eat the Taco Bell. Dude, my stomach would be wrecked. Eventually, we found out that like antifreeze is in Fireball. Probably gonna grow a 3rd arm at some point in my life, most likely.
Doesn't your sister like Jack Daniels?
My whole family loves Jack Daniels except for my dad. Everyone loves Jack Daniels.
No.
I'm just like
Everyone
I don't really
tolerates
care.
Jack Daniels.
No, everyone.
Oh, in your
loves
family.
that in my family, yeah.
Gotcha.
I hate Jack. Like it doesn't taste good.
No, I
Yeah,
agree
no,
there.
it's cheap whiskey.
There's
I'm
better
a
whiskey.
rum
You've
guy.
had
I
good
love
whiskey,
Captain
and my
Morgan.
answer will be the good whiskey you've had that should have been the choice.
I mean, I like Jameson. Jameson is
Nope,
something that I
it's
can
not
good.
take
That's
shots
Why
of
did
and
you
mix
do
it
that then?
because Fireball is something I drank the most. So I would consider
But
that the best for.
I don't even
what
know
I've
if you
had.
can consider it a whiskey.
I probably
Like,
drank the most like Coors Light, but it won't be my best beer.
True.
I'm blown away that you said Fireball because I absolutely roast it in my response. that I
Sweet.
wrote
I
out.
can't wait.
So Josh and Daniel, actually, you got had about this shot on the bachelor party, the Four Horsemen. Never heard of it before. The bartender
yeah.
says he's only made it like once before. That's Jack, Jim, Jameson, and Johnny Walker.
Yep.
All 4 of those J's can jump off a fucking bridge because I hate all of them and I do not like them. And and if you think Fireball whiskey is a whiskey, then you're likely not old enough to be drinking yet. Not technically a whiskey, but bourbon in the same family is why I'm choosing Bullet as my favorite whiskey.
That's
Wait,
my-
if it's not whiskey, then it's. You said it's bourbon. That's
It's
not
bourbon.
whiskey. Though.
Bourbon's
Bullet,
a
it's
whiskey.
bourbon whiskey, scotch. They're related.
Bullet. Damn,
I didn't
how'd
know
you
what-
not pick
yeah.
Bullet?
I didn't
Well,
know it was bourbon whiskey, or I didn't know that was like the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think
pretty
one's
much
without
category
an
of
E, and
rye
one's
whiskey.
just with a Y.
Okay.
Well, that was mine too, Bryce. Bullet.
Bullet's great.
It's a good, decently cheap. I drink it straight all the time. But right now, drinking the Buffalo Trace, which is also that'll be my runner-up. I'll go with that one.
Oh, dude,
since you
shit.
said
Buffalo
Bullet.
Trace. We went to Catalina.
I love Buffalo
and
Trace.
Had a
a good
bottle,
one.
bought that, and drank the entire bottle in one night.
My man.
And dude, I'm not even kidding you. I was like so out of it
Respect.
the next morning. He gets up out of bed, starts like pouring a pot of water. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? But I was like too tired to even ask him any questions. I just kind of went with it. And he's like, uh-huh. And I'm like telling him all about like this weird dream that I had. And he's filling up this water, or this pot with water. And then he picks it up, walks back into his bedroom. And I'm like, what are you doing with that pot of water? And I'm like still like telling him the story of my weird dream. And then he just casually looks at me as he pours it off the side of the balcony. And I'm like, what the fuck, dude? And I look over and he just had puked all down the balcony. And then below him was Brendan's brother, and all these chunks and fucking pukey rain was just like hitting the patio right in front of his window. And then so we asked him when he wake up, we're like, hey, did you hear that rain this morning? He's like, yeah, that was so weird. It rained for like 20 seconds and then it stopped.
It was
like,
dumping.
Yeah, it was very chunky rain.
Jeez. Yeah, whiskey can give you some pretty gnarly hangovers, I feel.
Yeah, whiskey's the alcohol that makes me feel like the saying of like it puts hair in your chest the most is like a straight shot of whiskey or sipping whiskey. That's one that's like hits your system the most. Like vodka and tequila, if it's bad or like special or whatever, that just makes me feel like gross in my tongue. But whiskey like hits like your insides. So Daniel, knowing Bullet is on the table, would you have still chosen Fireball?
I honestly,
you stand by your decision.
No, I don't drink whiskey, so I was just going by what I drank the most. You know, in my.
I've just asked you if you wanted to change.
Oh no! Like I said, Jameson is my favorite whiskey, but Fireball is what I've had the most.
All right, third category, beer.
Josh,
the most important category.
What category do you want to do now?
There's one left. and Bryce already said it.
You have to choose.
You gotta freaking tell me, man.
Let's go with best water. How about that?
Damn it. Oh, definitely not Arrowhead.
No.
Fuck Arrowhead. Fuck Arrowhead.
It tastes like soapy water. It tastes like someone backwashed the entire bottle and then just spit it back in there. I was like, here you go.
Horrible.
Enjoy.
I don't know. They sell that.
Okay, my best beer. Again, gotta hit those 4 categories. Does it taste good? Can I drink a lot of it? Will it get the job done? Is it cheap? All of those qualifications, Coors Light hits them all.
The Coors Light.
It is the best beer that I've drank the most of, and I can't play a drinking game with, some like stout or something like that. Like I love stouts, probably the most out of anything else, but I can't drink a lot of them. So
I can.
Mm-hmm.
I can
easily
I can have
6-pack.
Like three or 4, and then I'm like, I'm just done. Like I'm full.
Yeah.
I don't want to drink anymore. With Coors Light, dude, you can go to a party with a 30 rack for like $25, if that. Drink the entire thing, throw up, and then continue drinking because you're just full of beer. You're not even like really drunk yet. But it does get the job done eventually. Old reliable, as I say.
Well said.
Plus, it was also the first beer I ever had.
Can't remember what my first beer was. I honestly think it might have been a natty.
My first beer. So the first beer I ever sipped on was Coors Light because I had it like when I was a little kid and I hated it. I'm like, yeah, never drinking that again. Then I had my first beer that I finished, which was actually Kelly's dad gave it to us. It was a Shock Top. Loved
Shock
that.
Top.
That
yeah,
was awesome.
that was a good one for a while.
That was the only thing I drank because I hated alcohol. So I'm like, this tastes kind of like oranges, so I guess it's good.
Mm-hmm.
And then the first beer I ever got drunk on was a Natty Light. Actually, It was 8 Natty Lights. So. And funny enough, it was in their jacuzzi. It was in Kelly's jacuzzi.
Oh, yeah. Good times.
Is your favorite Natty Light, Josh?
That would be my favorite cheap beer I'd go to, but I wouldn't call it my favorite beer. I think my favorite beer would have to be just a beer around a campfire with friends. It doesn't really matter on the beer, honestly.
Okay. Why don't you pull out your tampon and say what your real beer is?
Free beer. No.
There you go.
No, hey, I stand by it. It doesn't really matter the beer. I like hanging out.
Campfire beer is good.
Campfire beer is the best beer.
Dude, any beer
is
around
it better
a
than
is
sports
amazing.
game
Exactly.
Beer?
That's my point.
Yes, way better than a sports game beer because a sports game beer is like $10.
At least for a Coors.
But like we're talking about feeling, like the feeling of sitting by a campfire and drinking.
Exactly.
The feeling of drinking while watching a game is pretty dope.
Yeah.
Like if you're at the game too.
No, dude, golf course
beers are good.
Golf course beer is great too.
Yeah, that's a good
golf
one.
Golf course beer is the best. That's just like a great
fuck the
feeling. You're like,
campfire.
hey,
That's up there on the bonfire golf course.
hey, you wanna down 20 beers and just sit around and talk? No? Well, what if we did it with some clubs in our hand?
Yeah.
Like golf carts.
Let's make this
With
a
some
little bit
weapons.
dangerous and
Hell
cause
yeah.
some damage.
Zero amount of skill to control these weapons we're in.
Yeah. Perfect.
Golf course beer is a good one. But
That's
I'm gonna
a
go
solid one.
favorite cheap beer, definitely Natty. Another good reason to get a Natty. If you go to a party and bring a pack of Natty Lights, no one's drinking
gonna
those.
touch 'em.
Yeah,
If you
that's
bring
true.
a pack of Coors or Bud Lights, people are gonna be bumming off you. No one's taking the Natty.
No,
Learn from
Bud
me.
Light. I won't drink Bud Light, but I like Budweiser.
They all pretty much taste the same to me. All the lights. You guys used to be big
like-
on Miller Lights for a while.
I
remember.
love.
like
I was
Miller.
gonna say I love Miller Lite. Miller Lite is great for a golf course beer too, though.
No, you need the Coors Lights you need the mountains, the Colorado Kool-Aid for the course.
Colorado Kool-Aid. I've never heard it before. That's
Yeah,
awesome.
I heard it once and I fucking love it. Colorado.
Yeah,
Kool-Aid.
I like. So I mean, if it wasn't for how much I've had Coors Light and the cheapness of it and stuff, I'd probably say my favorite beer is the peanut butter stout.
Oh, okay, yeah, there you go.
The peanut butter stout tastes the best. Well, but that's what Kyle made it though, so I can't really say it's cheap. It is cheap. It's free. So, yeah, that's the best beer I've ever had.
All right, my beer. There is no beer more versatile than Corona. Literally no
Corona's
beer.
pretty good.
It's appropriate while watching sports, chilling on the beach, and even like at work functions. If you're talking to someone with a Corona, it's like, oh, it's fine. It's not like bad looking. Corona
Did you say
is
a work conference?
no, yeah, or a work function like a happy hour.
Oh, I thought you just meant like you're just like in a boardroom and you're like,
I mean, honestly,
let's
might still be
this
fine.
boardroom started, guys.
Still kosher.
And they're like, well, it's a Corona. It's okay.
It's fine.
If you roll in there with the Coors Light, they'll look different.
Yes. Corona is the cool kid who doesn't have to try to be cool. He just is, And with the freaking lime, like, amazing. Their spokesperson is Snoop Dogg, the coolest person on the earth. And their slogan, I don't know if they have a slogan, but it should be, fuck them Blue Mountains and fuck them cans, get me a Rona.
Coronas
They
have
come
cans,
in cans
too.
though. Yeah.
No, but, oh no.
Fuck them
Corona
cans.
and cans suck. Corona cans suck.
that's
Oh yeah,
true.
no, seriously they do. And it's funny, actually, Coors Light in a can is way different than Coors Light in a bottle. Like the bottle tastes better, but
I
the
like
can
never drink bottled
isn't
Coors.
I think that's why I also don't like seltzers. Like, if there's a seltzer in a bottle, might fuck with it.
They don't have any.
These skinny fucking cans that are like
Well, they
dick
do have.
size, dude. Like, what
they
the
have
fuck?
kombucha. Kombucha is basically like
It's the same thing.
Seltzer.
It's a skinny can. Oh, I'm thinking of Kaya. I guess, do they have kombucha, like hard kombucha
Yeah,
in a
they
bottle?
have hard kombucha in bottles. They're actually pretty good, and also you get that added benefit of drinking a kombucha. But like, I'm not
Get
gonna
the
drink a bunch of
healthy
those because
probiotics.
you get diarrhea if you drink too many of those.
Too much probiotics.
Do any of you guys have a joke?
My penis, but it's too short.
Seltzers.
This is good. The other day I bought a crappy thesaurus. Not only is this thesaurus terrible, but it's terrible.
Pretty good.
Okay.
Guys, hope you enjoyed this episode. Enjoy the rest of your March. I think we have another week left of it. Happy either early or belated birthday to Brendan. Forget when we're putting this out. Josh, thank
Happy
you for
birthday, Brendan.
returning.
Happy
Thank
birthday,
you for
Brandon.
gracing us with your hideous mug. It's not only hideous, it's hideous.
You got the same thesaurus?
I regifted.
Enjoy the rest of your weekend, and from all of us here at Chiefin, keep it Chiefin.
Keep it chiefin'. Good sode, guys.